I'm vengeance.
I'm vengeance, guys. What's up, guys? AWO here, Air Warder. Hope you're all doing good, guys. Alright, hope you're all doing good on this Sunday. November. What's today? I forgot what the day is. 9th, right? Yeah, November 9th, 2025. We're almost at the end of the year. What's up, guys? I saw 56K in the chat. 56K, I saw you. I saw you in the chat. It's good to see 56K. Hope the chat starts popping soon. 9:56. 9:56 p.m. All right, so we're doing the opposite of detracting today. We're not detracting. We're praising. Yeah, we're praising today. That's what we're doing today. Tonight we're praising. Yeah. So with this further ado, what are we talking about? We're talking about Superman. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay. Superman. All right. That's what we're going to talk about. Superman soars. Okay. Forbes. The trait that the Snyder Cult has used about a month ago as a so-called source of information to say that Superman lost money. But the same trait came out yesterday, became public today, that in fact Superman made money. And arguably twice to three times as more as what the profit loss as the Snyder Cult, the Snyder Bros claimed. 48 million. That's what they said. The movie. That's what they said. The movie lost. No. Turns out it's all a lie from them. Remember that Forbes article back then they admitted they did not know how much it made. Okay, but now it just completely. This news completely trashes. Once again, their delusional, irrational agenda narrative of James Gunn and DCU. The same site Forbes that they use has come back to turn heel on them, as the WWE wrestling terms, but to turn face, but to really a face term, because they are the heels, they are the bad guys here, and Forbes just the one trait that they took as legit as but turns out Forbes found out, did their due diligence, not recognize, but they did. Forbes, they gave did their research, did whatever they needed to do. Superman found out Superman was a success, and they even have articles about what they did, how they came to a conclusion. 100 million, 200 million, I don't know. No, 100 million to 150 million, possibly. Let's see. I gotta share the article, man. I gotta share because, okay, share. All right, straight to the source, straight to the Forbes article, guys. And every time, we talk about this, I like the people that come on. Come on, I know. I know there's people here, right? So feel free to comment. All right. So I do have the article. I do have the article from Forbes, the source itself. Okay. What's up, DeGrasse? Oh, we're having fun, DeGrasse. Oh, since we are talking about this, I got clips. I got clips or segments now. Every time when we talk in videos, in the stream, in my streams, when we talk about the DCU, Snyderverse, MCU, Star Wars, we're gonna have introduction to those segments. And what I mean by that is stuff like this. So if I talk about the Snyderverse, look around, a new dawn breaks, panels turn, and no, this is not the Snyderverse. This is look around, a new dawn breaks, panels turn, and the silver screen waits. Stories interlock, a universe in view. Feel the and the stories turn with the page, a new dawn inside. Hope on the horizon, colors in the night. Heroes are gathering, ready to ignite. We can feel it rising. And Snyderverse is falling down. The capes have hit the ground. The night got quiet, the colors fade, but we still remember the worlds they made. Let it. But I haven't made for MCU or Star Wars or anything like that. But so those are gonna be when we talk about this stuff. Those are gonna be segment introductions. Okay. Yes, I did for this game. I am live. You want to collab? How do you collab? What? I got the site on now. Can you do collabs with live streams? Or I know you can do videos with the new collaboration thing. But here's the okay. Here's the article. Mark Hughes is an entertainment cover writer. So let me get this out of the way. The other guy who wrote for the Forbes about not really coming to a conclusion of how the financials for Superman was not an actual. He's a contributor. You know, he's just a contributor. He's not actually works for Forbes. He's just somebody that contributes from time to time. But this guy, I assume, works for Forbes. Okay, so all right, let's look at this article. I'm going to read the article for you. With either split, a merger, or both on the horizon for Warner Bros. Discovery, the speculation machine is ramping up regarding DCU's Endgame and what James Gunn's Superhero Cinematic Universe is building towards. Okay. DCU has super success. There's a lot of mistaken analysis out there about Gunn. The DCU is Superman. Some websites, they really look mostly on low quality websites that push rumors and clickbait. This is clearly so right here. I'm gonna highlight. Is it highlighted on here? Yeah. I'm still gonna highlight it. Highlight this part. Here, right there. You see the whole highlighted part here? That's taking. Oh my God! Taking a. That's definitely taking a shot a shot, right? That's definitely taking a shot at people like Comic Book News, people like Harsh Critic, Aaron Fletcher, Lethal Geeks, people coming up with bullshit, BS, with an right with with well, grift. Obviously, there's a grift, but it's those kind of right. I don't know how to collab. I don't know how to collab with the live streams though. Okay, but these but this the highlighted part right here, which I highlighted on here, that's wow. That just and this guy is. I mean, this guy is more respect. I respect this guy more than any other guys trashing on the DCU James Gunn. And obviously, look, they're not going to accept this. They're not going to fucking accept this. Obviously, I'm sorry for swearing. Right, the gun haters, the DCU haters, the Snyder lovers cult. They're not going to accept this. Right, as they're not going to accept this. They're going to come up with some BS reasons. BS reasons saying, "Oh, Forbes is paid off by James Gunn and DCU." Forbes, because every time these people, because I've seen every time these people, when we have videos like Movie Hubbub or Slav, when they talk about people like Harsh Critic, Aaron Fletcher, people like that, those harsh critics and those people, they always accuse of Movie Hubbub or Slav of being paid. Always accused of them being paid. And the funny thing is, we could easily say the same thing about those people. We could easily say, yeah, you're being paid too by Zack Snyder. We could say you're being paid by Zack Snyder pulling this BS propaganda. Like, always. Oh, Dave Junkie, Film Junkie, is being paid. Okay. Let me see. I gotta see something. I kind of I would, but I have kind of I might invite a friend onto my stream. I don't know if he's around, but yeah. No, I don't. Red, what are you doing? Okay, so I'm back. Okay, but so obviously they're not gonna accept this. They're gonna say this guy's being paid. Forbes is being paid. Forbes is a gun shill. DCU shill. Red, stop. Oh, by the way, no, I'm busy right now. I'm not collaborating with anybody. I'm going solo. Right? I'm not going. Well, I have people. My people, if they want to come on. Red, I think it's live streaming. So I don't know. But look at this. See. This is definitely. They're not gonna like this. They're not gonna like this. They're not gonna like this, right? And because it's just. It's just. They're just taking more L's after L's. When are they gonna finally Man, when are they going? Remember that video? Me, Blind and TJ, when we were a couple days ago. You remember that when Blind recommended for me to watch this guy's video together on stream. We went for like a 3 hour stream. Remember, and what that guy said? That guy said that video home is how it wasn't profitable, stuff like that. Well, that guy looks like an idiot too now, right? More of an idiot. These guys look more like, oh my god. Is there is there anything in there this how many how many L's can they possibly take? Because it's mind-boggling if you ask me. Mind-boggling. Okay? Gotta keep on that grift. They gotta keep lying. Keep lying. Keep lying. It's funny how people believe YouTubers more than advice, guys. Most YouTubers are not people you should say. And I'm a YouTuber. We're all YouTubers here in some capacity. YouTubers are not people you should take seriously. Even okay? 99% of YouTubers you should not take seriously. Okay? Now where's everybody else? Where's TJ? But these guys, they're not going to accept this. So let's continue this. The film generated more than 100 million profits, had great reviews and audience scores, and did big numbers in theaters and home entertainment. But she could safely ignore it and anyone pushing those false narratives. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know who they're talking about. What is actually happening is very simple. Warner Brothers is up for buyout, and some fans with certain studios to buy it and fire a gun. Okay, so this is kind of an article to put these people in their place too, but with facts and evidence too. With facts and evidence, okay. What actually is happening is very simple. Warner Bros. Discovery is up for buyout, and some fans want certain studios to buy a fire gun to reinstall whatever personal preferences those fans have about DC movies. Now they're being a little nice here. The theory is that studios will see fans acting mad and hear fan blogs claiming Superman is a failure, and some of those studios actually will be generally ignorant enough of how movies and box office profits will work for fall for it. Hint, they aren't. Any changes a buyer wants and patient will likely fall within narrow range, but I think the primary DC plans will remain as it is. Okay? Diddy parties. Diddy parties should be taken seriously. should be taken seriously. Yes. Gun Superman is the most popular show film of 2025, and it reset audience interest in DC with a box office result at least 40% or more higher than any of the previous 9 DCU movies from the past 8 years. I say 8 years. You forgot the S. It beat all 3 Marvel Studios released this year, including Marvel's tentpole Fantastic Four: First Steps. Yeah. Superman also earned universal critical acclaim and high audience scores, as well as strong streaming numbers and home entertainment sales and rentals. The film will have generated significantly more than 100 million in profits and approaching 150 million globally, with all said and done this year. It is not a failure. It did underperform. It was widely beloved by mainstream audience and most fans, and no amount of resentment or wishes or lies will change those facts. Okay? Okay. I like this article. This article is basically, well, not naming them, not named specifically, but he clearly, they're clearly with facts to back up his point, clearly shut down the naysayers, the the agenda heavy, the narratives, the insane, the delusional, the toxic Snyder fan base, and the people that just hate gun because they're not getting the precious Snyderverse. You know. They need an ambulance. They need an ambulance. Who hurt your feelings? They should. When they're going to be they should be put in emergency. They're going to wait in the emergency room because they got hurt. The Snyder feelings are hurt. And then, okay. And the problem with, okay, here's the thing that people have to understand on YouTube. When you track an audience, right? When you track an audience, the Snyder Cult audience people, their problem is the people that watch most of their videos, that comment on their videos, think like them. So when they say we, yes, the majority of people are going to agree with them in the comments, but that doesn't prove anything. Okay, it really doesn't prove anything, and that's where it almost goes for any YouTuber. Okay, that's why people subscribe. And believe me, there's people that hate subscribe. There is hate subscribe. Okay, you know how there's hate watch? Well, what do you think those people hate watchers are? They're subscribed. They're sub to the people they're talking about. Okay? People are subscribed to the people they don't like on here, of course. Okay? Now, okay? They're going to spin it some way. They're going to find a way to spin it. Obviously. Because they can't accept and move on. They think we, general audiences, they think when they talk about we, they think the general audience likes the Snyderverse better, which clearly is not true, right? Proven true. When we talk about DC and Marvel, or whatever, we talk about popularity things. We don't really. I really don't say we specifically like all the time, right? But when I talk about when I say we in my videos or streams, sometimes I usually mean the hardcore fans, but I'm careful when I say we because I know that I want to see Batman. We should see Batman in this. Let's do a smaller tier character. We should see this character in this movie, right? We should see this character in the movie. But is this character resonate with the general audience? The general audience can resonate with this character. The general audience did not resonate with the Snyderverse. And the general audience clearly resonates better with James Gunn's work. Guardians proves it, right? Guardian has proven the fact that the general audience resonates better with James Gunn's work. Right? Snyder movies made money in the DC. Man of Steel made over $650 million. BVS made over $800 million. But BVS had a $430 million opening weekend. We did the digging on one of my last streams on here a couple days ago. But then finished off with an 800 and something box office. Do you know how bad it is to how bad a movie has to be just to make 400 million in its theatrical run after a 430 million opening weekend, 5 days or whatever. Do you know how bad? Do you know how bad reception to that movie has to be? You know how bad that is? That's a sign that, sure, sure, 400 million, you gotta get some of the general audience to watch it, but because most of the hardcore DC fans probably, most of the general audience and hardcore fans probably saw it in the first weekend, but but then again, the lack of interest, the interest of general audiences went down weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months when that film was in theaters because it was trashed all over the place. You can't. Any movie that's destined to have a 430, not even Avatar had that. What Avatar? I'm gonna look at Avatar. Look at Avatar. Okay, Avatar made more. Okay, Avatar made more, 441 million. But here's the thing: Avatar made more, 441 million, and but it made 2 billion, right? Let's see how much total. 2 billion. So, two. See, Avatar. Obviously, when you have an opening weekend, it's 400 million, right? Like, guys, I know we don't. I know some of you don't like talking about numbers about box office, but you have to admit, when you have a movie that makes over 400 million in the first weekend box office, you have to make a billion. And let's look at what is Avengers Endgame? Avengers Endgame opening weekend. Oh, Avengers Endgame. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you sure? Okay, Avengers Endgame made really? Okay, Avengers Endgame made apparently 858 million opening weekend. Okay. Okay. BVS might be the only movie in the history of cinema. Now, Degrassi, if you're still here, you can back me up. This in the history of cinema that makes 300 million open weekend, over 300 million is open weekend, and never crossed $1 billion mark. Might be the only movie. And obviously, Justice League couldn't save that. There's a lot of problems with the Justice League movie. With Zack Snyder left, and he got left, and Joss Whedon got Okay. Oh yeah, it took me out. Wow, this thing took me out for some reason. I don't know why. This thing took me out. So look at the DC. This guy suggests that whoever buys Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers Discovery because they're gonna split should keep James Gunn Pierce separate. That's obvious. But he suggests Apple. Now with Apple, with Apple guys, with Apple. Now, Apple obviously would keep on the studio, right? Who would what would happen? What would happen with Apple if they had DCU? I know they're interested because they have the Apple service and with the old HBO, Apple streaming service, where they combine them both and make it more expensive. Apple is really expensive. When they would make it even more expensive. Whatever gets the DC, whatever gets the assets from Warner Brothers, their streaming services, the prices are going to go up because you're going to have more content. Prices will go up, not down. Prices will go up. Now let's see what the guy says. Apple. I don't know what the guy says. Apple. Oh look, these guys got suspended for gambling. Football, baseball players. You're in trouble. First of all, so my guess is Gunn building his tour something that's not Justice League, and I'm not claiming that's a unique guess or inspired by deep insight. As Gunn all but said as much publicly about the upcoming plans as what to expect or not to expect. I believe it will be the version of Super Friends, and if so, I would expect Super Friends versus Legion of Doom movie. Two baseball pitchers from the Cleveland Indians suspended. Manu Clase and this guy named Luis Ortiz. I I think they're in trouble. Now I think let me check. I think there's an update on them. Let me see. Oh no, they've been charged with taking bribes. They've been charged, not suspended. They were suspended, but now they've been charged with taking bribes, gambling, cheating the game. All right, let's continue. So this guy suggests Super Friends for a Legion of Doom movie. I don't know about that. This is a long article. Wow. Or perhaps it'll be Justice Gang versus Injustice Gang, since the latter is from Grant Morrison's Justice League America comic book story, and Gunn loves Morrison work. Gunn also used Justice Gang in the Superman movie, which just to be funny, homage, or maybe setting it up. I don't seriously suspect this, since the mainstream movie going public will have no association with those names and titles, but it is amusing to consider the possibility. Yeah, Gunn Gunn kind of changed his tone a little bit on what we're gonna see. He says he kind of changed his tone to a point where we're gonna see a lot. We're recognizable characters. The movie audience recognizable characters, not to niche characters. He did kind of. So yeah, that's a good point. My other main guess would be some sort of adaptation of the iconic comic book series Kingdom Come, born and loosely adapted in the current DC continuous set in the future. Superman has a desire to be a positive role model and inspiration for other supers, but in fact, a lot of them ignore his higher moral code and cause a loss of destruction and even commit murder. Mirror themes and events that beloved comic book story, as does the existence of an ultra dimensional world used as prison superhumans the world wants to get rid of. Nah. Side note, for what it's worth, and I know it's not worth much these days, some folks over there, I'd rather hold Kingdom Come for a distant future film after taking lots of time to build up the DCU, and then is a big faithful pedestrian to push. Short of that, however, I are you kidding me? Look at this guy. However, look at this. Look at this. This guy bashes. The people BSing. He takes shots at people about the false narrative, about the false agenda, about how Superman failed with money. It was not a box office success. It was not a financial success. And then look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Son, I'll just license to Netflix for Zack Snyder to adapt the live action film in the future of the DCU and with his previous cast of heroes. Those willing to return. If some like Ben Affleck have no interest in returning, Snyder could use Michael Keaton as a post-Flash version of the DCU. Yeah, right. Yeah. Michael Keaton wants to do that slop, huh? Yeah, seriously? You just want people to. Now that's going to be confusing. What are we going to do? We're going to have Robert Parrish's Batman, whoever the Batman in the DCU, and then all of a sudden, we're going to have the Snyderverse Batman? We got 3 fucking Batmans all at one time? Yeah, you really want to confuse the movie-going audiences. At least the Spider-Man No Way Home, all 3 Spider-Mans were in one film and explained it from different universes. This is just Batman's in different universes that have nothing to do with each other. Are you really kidding me? Man, even Red Blinded in Degrassi could write better stuff than this. Seriously. We can, guys. We seriously can. We can write better crap than this. I'm just saying. Why? Are you afraid you're going to get attacked by the Snyder Cut? Of course you are, because you said the movie is profitable. You're going to get attacked. Just ignore them. They're niche. Okay? There's also some possible hints that perhaps Gunn is going to do a big twist on the build-up superhero team movie approach. What if instead the BDCU crossover is loosely adapted Salvation? We're probably a big cast of supervillains in the ensemble, and Luthor is one of the leads. Yeah, but no. Gunn said it's not going to be like it's not going to be like the Salvation comic. They're going to take what they took from Salvation as a different world. It's basically a different world. That's what they took from Salvation. It's not going to be like different the comic. He basically said it's not going to be like Lex Luthor versus Joker versus Vandal Savage who reigns dominance on Salvation. That's not. He basically said no. That's not the plan. Okay. He said that. He kind of said that. Consider that they're setting up both the Salvation prison plan and checkmate elements of that story. Plus, Luthor is probably some sort of anti-hero in Gunn's upcoming Man of Tomorrow movie scheduled for release in 2027, which Gunn has described as more of a Lex Luthor story than a Superman story. No. He didn't say it's more of a Lex story as more than a Superman story. He said as much as a Lex story as a Superman movie. He did not say it's more of Lex's story than Superman story. The title is called Man of Tomorrow. Why would Man of Tomorrow? Man of Tomorrow is also a nickname for Superman. Why would a movie be more about a different character than the Superman? That's like saying Batman, but it's more about Damian the Batman. That's like saying Thor, Thor Ragnarok. It's like saying it's more about Loki than Thor. No, man, no. The title of the character is what the movie is mostly about, majority about. Otherwise, you have team movies like Thunderbolts or Avengers or Guardians, right? Or you have movies with two names in the title, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? You get what I mean, guys. This is all. Red knows what I mean. Red's my buddy. I wish Red and Blind to make up. You know. I wish you guys would hug each other. Okay. Blind is too easy to raise bait. Blind is not here. I don't know where he is. There's a lot of potential way to make Super Friends. The Super Friends is a dumb title for a movie. It sounds so fucking cheesy. Sorry. Like, okay, back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you could get away with that title, Super Friends. But Super Friends sounds so cheesy, so kiddie, so childish. Super Friends is. I mean, Super Friends is better off as like an anime show for kids. The title, man, it just doesn't fit a name for a movie or a live action show. It does. It. Sorry, like back then, fine, but people's viewership and how things are from to now is completely different. It's just no, man. I don't think it's gonna resonate. Sorry, like I just don't think it's a title that catches you, man. It's like Super Friends. It's also cheesy, you know. Like what kind of title is that? What kind of name is that? The Justice Gang already exists and has a Hall of Justice League headquarters, and adapting a mix of elements of Kingdom Come and Salvation One together, Lucy into a new story. We consider all the theories together. There are also elements of Final Crisis that might be an interesting way for Gunn to take really into DCU and intimately embrace of the multiverse concept and quickly get rid of that in favor of the permanent singular shared universe. Might that post uses which elements of the previous DCU continue holding onto in the future, and even bring back some other DC cinematic franchise elements too. Creating final DC film universe cherry picking all the best versions of the best things and putting them together. This could be a pretty fun example to make the point how it could play out. The approach if this approach Grant Gustin is Barry Allen. No. Grant Gustin, no disrespect to Grant Gustin, but what has he done since The Flash? What has he done in The Flash? He's a TV actor. Okay? Okay. Ben Affleck is done as Batman. He's done as Batman. And I think I think Marvel did ask him to come back for Daredevil, for Deadpool Wolverine, but he said no. I think Ben Affleck is dead of comic book movies. I think he's dead set on, he's done with comic book movies. I think Ben Affleck is like, no, no. I don't think so, no. No. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Dick Grayson. Are you kidding me? Really? People don't. Are you really kidding me? Red, are you listening to this? Listening to this? Jordan Gordon. Oh. Look, this guy is a DC fan, but his ideas are not that smart. I like how his suggestions. I like his that he's shown as possible, but the Superman movie is possible. Listening to what? He wants Ben Affleck as bad as Batman. Greg Gustin is back as the Flash. Jordan Gosling back as Nightwing. Dick Grayson, this guy. I gotta read the comments. I'm gonna read the comments of 5 comments. What? Oh my god. My god. The first half of this article, clearly going after the Snyder shows. Then he talks about the future of DC and he gives his opinions, ideas. And when he talks about that, he wants to give the Snyder shows 2 more movies for the Snyderverse. So it sounds like a guy who wants to make everybody happy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to guys. It sounds like he also wants to make everybody happy. Studios don't think like that, okay? They don't cater. Big IPs are not about catering to a niche audience. Big IPs is about catering to a niche audience and also a bigger wide audience, right? Big IPs are about you can't cater to a certain sect, okay? That's what smaller films are for. Smaller films are for that, okay? You know why horror films don't make as much as a lot of big IP films? The horror genre, well, there's a lot of popular horror genres over the years. It's a very niche genre. If you really think about it, a lot of people don't really like horror films. Okay? Exactly, Degrassi. Yeah, exactly. Okay. But, okay. Marvel and DC, well, DC in this case, the previous DC universe only catered to a small film, a niche, strong opinionated, strong, loud. The thing is, that audience didn't buy it. Didn't believe in it. Okay? And I said this about Superman. Last year when the trailer came out. It felt like, because people have been saying the brand of Superman has been damaged, the interest in Superman hasn't been there. I think when the trailer came out and it did a tremendous viewership with the trailer, whatever, social media combined, views on social media did tremendous. I think it was beneath the surface. Because people were waiting for, I think people wanted to see Superman on the big screen, but they were not wanting to see Henry Cavill Superman, whether it's the Snyderverse version or the DCU version, the one we saw Black Adam and so on, because to the general audience, the Snyderverse version and the DCU version is really the same thing. Okay? It's really the same thing. Same with Ben Affleck's Batman, same with Aquaman. It's really the same thing to them. People like us, we could kind of separate it a little bit, but to the regular people that went to see DC movies, no, they don't see that. The Snyderverse people don't see that, but I think the gun people see that. I see that. I'm sure Degrassi sees that. Fred probably sees that, right? The Henry Cavill is synonymous with Zack Snyder's world. But even with Zack Snyder was let go, and Warner Brothers went off to the turmoil, changing things up, it's still synonymous. It's still synonymous with Zack Snyder, BVS, Justice League, Man of Steel. Yeah, exactly, Degrassi. Exactly. So I think people were just waiting for a Superman movie, but they're waiting for a new actor to play Superman, a new vision of Superman, somebody else taking charge. Okay, somebody like that. And this is, guys, that's sorry, but if Snyderverse people watching this, Snyder fans, whether you're a regular one or not, you have to. That's the reason why. That's the reason why people want more people want to. This is the reason why people are generally excited to see this universe. Same character, different actor. Yeah, yeah. It's not the characters. I mean, with Henry Cavill, it's not really specifically the character, it's specifically the actor who played the character. They didn't want to see Henry Cavill as Superman. Okay? 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 Shout out TJ. All right? Thank you, TJ. It's not fair to put on the actors, but that that's stench is the reason why people weren't interested in the previous Superman, DCU Superman, Black Adam Superman. It didn't change a thing. Well, I don't know how. What would you think? It didn't change a thing for Black Adam, Henry Cavill's cameo, right? Once there's a new Superman, there's a new direction. People were looking, and James Gunn described this Superman, and it's gonna be more hopeful, more to what Superman should be. And the trailer came out. The Superman fans are embarrassed. Superman fans are embarrassed, and not because of Henry Cavill, because how Zack Snyder portrayed him. And Henry Cavill, I'm gonna defend Henry Cavill because I don't blame him for his version of Superman. Okay, I mean, of course he played it, but he admitted it. He admitted in interviews before he wasn't particularly happy with his vision of Superman. Okay, Henry Cavill, he was happy to play Superman, but as time went on, he wasn't particularly happy as Superman. He didn't want Superman to be all serious, all brooding, things like that. He wanted to be more like the source material. If you know Henry Cavill's the type of actor, because this is a problem he had on The Witcher. He wants things related to the source material. He's kind of a perfectionist in that way. Okay? Okay? So, it's just beneath the surface. I was playing surprised by it last year. I mean, it's almost been, how long has it been? It's almost been a year since the trailer came out. What, next month, right? The trailer came out next month, right? Of last year, right? It's almost been a year. I remember the social media views, how it broke records. So it's like that. I remember that, and I'm like, maybe it's just beneath the surface. I personally think, I don't know. I just think some people are embarrassed to be Superman fans because of what Warner Brothers did. Superman, Henry Cavill Superman, Snyder Superman, and then when they saw that trailer, they're like, they don't feel embarrassed anymore. They don't feel ashamed of being a Superman fan. Okay? And when they saw Superman, sure, 615 to 620 million. Didn't make as much as Man of Steel. But we know it did well on streaming. Okay? well in streaming. You know it made a profit. It did well. Think about it. 100 to 150 million profit from 600 and whatever 615 box office. That's over 700 million, right? Close to 800 million, right? Okay. But this guy's ideas, yeah, right. It sounds like he wants. I mean, he sounds like he wants everybody to be happy. It just doesn't. It doesn't work like that. Because if you make everybody happy, there's no one happy. You know. Exactly. TJ. Exactly, TJ. I'm sorry, I just yawned there. Yonder. Uh, don't, we got to, and we have to move on. They have to move on from this. I moved on from this. Okay. And I know a lot of people are upset with Predator because it changes a lot of things what the Predator is all about. Yeah, you know what? I didn't see the movie, but I heard the premise was, you know what? Good. Because the Predator movies are all the same. All the same. It's the same thing over and over again, all the Predator movies. The Predator hunts whatever is for sport, and they'll face a challenger that's strong enough to beat it, take it down, and it respects the challenger. That's basically a Predator for the whole freaking franchise. And then they made something different with this film with Predator. You know what? Good. Change it up a bit. Good. Okay, good. It gets boring. Because every Predator movie has the same premise until this one. Same premise. Man. Goofballs are tripping. The goofballs need to grow up. Okay? Like Smash JT, man. The guy is a Looney Tune. Man. All right. I don't know what else. It's been an hour. Yeah, it's been an hour. I'm gonna end to watch a football game. The Los Angeles Chargers in Pittsburgh. That's all I got to say, I guess. Yeah, this is not really a detracting video. I guess in a way, a little bit, it became a detracting when he looked over the guy's ideas for the DCU suggestions. But still, it wasn't technically a detracting video. But I'm going to go now. An hour. Be back Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to do Tuesday. Maybe pop, maybe Capes and Trunks. Let's talk pop. Or maybe, I don't know, something else. But yeah, take care, guys.
Come on. Thanks for watching him, bitch.